All right, welcome to this series of the lesson. So in this series, I'm just going to go ahead and teach you how to create a nested object using JavaScript. So I will just go to my Visual Studio Code story here. Then in my Visual Studio Code here, you realize I have a folder which is nested objects. Then inside the folder, you see I have two text files, which is nested.html and nested.css. So I will also just go here to my file manager because that's where I have the two folders. So here you see from where I have full stack, I have nested object here folder. If I open the folder, you realize I have nested here, which is the HTML file, and nested here, which is the JavaScript file. Let me just quickly minimize this and start. So here in the HTML, the first thing I'm going to do is just to hold shift and press 1. So now I will hit enter. Inside here, I will just go ahead and highlight this and paste the name. Sorry, there's a name I had. This is full stack lesson, so I will just name it full stack underscore nested lesson nested object. So that's what I'm going to call this. So in between this, I'm going to link the JavaScript together with the HTML. So I will just come down and say script, s script. Then inside the script, I'm going to say that the source of the script is nested, which is this nested.js. So now I have created that. I will save this and go to my JavaScript. So in my JavaScript, before I start the project, I will go to my file manager here and double click this one that has a browser here, this Microsoft Edge browser icon. So I will just double click on this and hold on for a second for it to open. So now you see that it has opened. If I right click on this and click on inspect, you will discover that I have if I click here on the console log is empty because there's nothing written yet in the JavaScript. So let me just quickly go and start writing. So the first thing I'm going to do here is that I'm going to comment. I will just say slash, then I will say this is how to create a nested object. Now the next thing, I'm also going to comment again and say car object because it's a car object I am going to work on. So now the next thing I will say is I'm going to use a let variable. So I will say let car equals to this. Then inside there, I'm going to say the brand of the car is going to be BMW, comma. Then I'm also going to have the model of the car, and that is going to be 7 series, comma. And the next thing I'm going to have is I'm going to have the color. So for the color, I'm going to say the color should be white. Sorry, I need to use a small letter. So 1 minute, I'm going to say the color should be white, then comma. The next thing is the make. So the make of the car is going to be 2024. Then I will also just use a comma here, and that will be that. So I will use this. Then the next thing, inside this car objects, I'm going to create a nested object inside the car, which is I'm going to use the owner's name as a nested object. So here I will just say owner. Then before that, let me quickly comment so you will know that so this is create nested object. Good. So now I can now say owner. Then for the owner, I'm going to use column, and then I use this. Then I will say the name of the owner of this car is John, John, comma, and then the age of John is going to be 45, comma. Now here too, I'm going to have comma. So let me just quickly save this. Now I will come down and do console.log to this to be able to get the value from my console. So here I will say console dot to log. I'm going to log three things. And what am I going to log? The first thing I'm going to log here is the name of the owner. So I will just say name of the owner. Then I will now use, if I use name of the owner, here is comma. So the first thing is the car, which is this one, the car here. The next one is the owner, and the next one is the name. So I will just say car dot owner dot name. So those are the three variable I'm going to log. So now I have these three variable. Let me save it and go to my browser. You realize that the console log is empty, but if I refresh it now, you see I have name of the owner is John. Have you seen it? Beautiful. So now the next thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to just go ahead and change the name of the owner. So I will use another notation that is similar to the same thing I just did to change the name. So you see how that one looks like. So here I'm just going to come down here and say to change, let me comment, to change the name of the owner, I will have to say car, the first variable, second variable owner, and the third variable the name. So these three, I'm going to say that this three is equals to, then I will give it a name, and this time I will give it the name to be Mark. Then I will use a semicolon. Then also copy this console.log from here and bring it down here and paste it here and save it. If I go back now and refresh this, you realize that I have